see what your behavior tells you that you value as a person, and then take that and use that as you move forward through your life. We're just going to hang out for a couple more minutes while we wait for people to trickle in, but we'll get started very, very soon.
How long is the session?
It's about an hour, based on the size of the group here, as long as not too many people, more people
I'm
show
gonna
up.
make it as long as possible.
Yeah. It's easy to overrun. It's easy to talk for a long time. I really try and keep it to about an hour, hour and 15 minutes. And under 10 people is the ideal size. So
Yeah.
we're right in that size group.
We need something to write?
No. If you have something to write, the only point in time is there will be a point where I ask you to choose 5 words to apply to your values. If you want something to write, if you want a note on your phone, you are welcome to. Whatever works for you as a person. Yeah.
I'm gonna...
Okay, you have time. 38 seconds. I have just changed things in this just a little bit, so I might pull out my phone to look at my notes. Don't mind me. I just want to make sure that I refine this a little bit more every time I do it, and frankly, I'm still pretty new at teaching this. Just trying to keep everything on track and in line.
You've been doing a workshop sound like this is what you do when you travel or as a profession?
Yeah, so I have gotten into life coaching in the last 6 months, and then when I arrived in Pi, I just saw that everything is very much so to the spiritual embodiment side of things, and I very much so teach kind of the logic, the mind side of things, and I saw an opportunity to really combine the two to teach this workshop. I put it together through exercises that I have learned in the past, and this is like my 4th or 5th time teaching it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, if someone has like a stake to put in the...
A block.
Yeah.
Please.
No,
Yes. Could I use it for a moment? Thank you, bro.
Who are we just waiting for? So other than that, 1, 2. Okay.
I think 2 of my friends are coming. They're takeaway order to take a little longer. Yeah.
As things happen in Thailand. Yeah,
So I told them we're about to get started though.
it's okay.
I just wanted to let you know there'll be 2 more people.
I have never, every time that I think that we have started, there's always people that show up. Every single time.
Can we ask questions too?
Absolutely, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's start to build a frame, if we will, before we really get started. This is a space where a lot of things are going to come up, be it emotions, thoughts, everything. It's a space for that. That's okay. We're here to explore inward. We're here to explore with ourselves. If you have thoughts, if you have questions, feel free to share with me. At the end, before I take off, I have a meeting that happens at 12, so I try to be done before then with a little bit of time to share with you guys. Everything runs late in Thailand. Also, I as a person swear a lot, and I'm ADHD, and I fidget a lot, and I am going to show up as I am. I don't try to pretend to be anything that I'm not. I encourage you guys to do the same. Express yourself in ways that feel authentic. When it comes down to times to apply words to your values, if English is not your first language, it is okay for you to use your first language. Do what feels right and makes sense to you. It doesn't need to make sense to me. It's all good. Yeah. Are we ready to do introductions?
Yes.
We're waiting for one more person right here. We're almost there. Every time. The suspense is killing me. At least we finally have a little bit of sun.
Yeah, please come here.
It's so cold this
I'm
morning.
so cold too.
Do you guys want to move over there?
I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Why not?
But
Yay!
We have the time. We have the place. We have the ability.
You said what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's a sliver of sunshine. Let's soak it up. All right. We're starting. And then we might have to restart later, but that's okay, because we're going to start. If everybody wants to stand up for 1 minute, we're just going to start with a little bit of shaking. We just want to get things moving. We want to get ourselves warmed up. We want to warm up our hands a little bit. Enter in the space with a little bit of energy, and then we're going to start tapping. All over, up and down, just helps blood circulate, helps get ourselves moving. And then breathe all the way out. We're going to go for 2. Breathe in. Ah. All right, one more. Ah. All right, don't we feel a little bit better now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go around the circle and we're going to say our names and the color of our toothbrush. So I am Sean, and my toothbrush is green and black.
Ron, white and blue.
Clara, red. Natalie, pink and white.
Tony, white and green.
Aline, red and white.
Amir, I think it's green.
Okay, and we can sit back down for this. You're welcome to stand and fidget any amount that you need while we're going through this.
And who's the best?
Okay.
Continue.
I personally have ADHD and a touch of autism, so I will probably play with these magnets the entire time. But why are we here talking about the colors of our toothbrush, right? When you go to the store, do you pick a toothbrush based on color? Do you pick it on bristle shape? Do you pick it on what it's made out of? That's it. That's the fundamental of it. Those are your values. What's important to you for a toothbrush, you decide on that, then you make your decision. Color usually becomes secondary. So when we're moving through our lives, when we become more aware of our personal values, it becomes easier to make decisions. Do you want to stay in Pi for longer? Do you want to see more sights? What's more important to you? When you're in a difficult situation with your friends, do you value being honest and being completely blunt with them? Or do you value having softer words? What's more important to you? When you become actively aware, you're welcome to join.
Can I join you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Price of entry is your name and the color of your toothbrush.
All right. My name is Johannes,
Yep.
and the color of my toothbrush is like lightly pink.
Perfect.
Yeah. Is this?
Name and the color of your toothbrush.
Oh, thank you.
My name is Cedric and my toothbrush is light blue and white and some gray and it has ribbons on.
So we're just going to rewind about 15 seconds. But again, when you're standing in the grocery store, wherever you buy toothbrushes, what's important to you? Do you buy it based off of color, or do you buy it based off of bristle shape, bristle size, whether it has a tongue scraper, whether it's electric, right? So in life, when we become aware of our values and what's important to us, it becomes easier to make decisions. We don't need to get hung up on a toothbrush color when the way that the bristles are shaped is more important. We don't need to get hung up on whether an accommodation is noisy or quiet if we value a comfortable bed. We don't need to get hung up on the price of something if we know that we need that. So if we can become aware of our values, we can simplify every decision that we need to make in our lives, right? So what are some examples of values that are important to you guys right now? Anybody have quick answers? 1 second apiece.
Travel.
Travel,
Being a good person.
being a good person,
Alignment.
alignment,
Peace.
peace,
Helping others.
helping others.
Peace too, I would say.
Peace.
Harmony.
That's enough for now. We're just trying to get the ball rolling on values, right? So, hello. Price of entry is your name and the color of your toothbrush.
Sorry, I'm so confused right now. This question confuses me so much.
That's the point. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, hi. I'm glad I'm here. I'm Maya.
Maya.
My toothbrush is green, I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lasse, my name, and blue.
Perfect. The whole point of this is that we're here to talk about values, and the color of your toothbrush doesn't actually matter. So let's talk about things that do matter. Please grab chairs, cushions, whatever you need to make yourself comfortable.
Is it okay that we have
something to eat, breakfast.
Do what you need to do.
If
All
you
good.
share, it's okay.
Everybody gets one bite. Do what you guys need to do to take care of yourself. The only thing that I ask is that if you're going to smoke, please step just far enough away to where your smoke doesn't bother people who don't. Other than that, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself in this space and time. Cool?
Cool.
The next exercise is intentionally hard. And it's to make people think. And that's what we're here to do, is to get a little bit more in line with, instead of the chatter of our minds, thoughts and values that represent us as a person. So I want you to tell me who you are without using your name, your job title, or your relationship to anyone else. If anyone wants to go first, by all means. If not, I will go first to give you more time to think.
Yeah, I need to think.
I'm myself. I don't try to be anything for anybody else. I've decided that I want to live my life for me, but it doesn't mean that I'm horrible to other people. I just work on myself more now at the moment.
Perfect, man. I love that you had that ready to go, too.
This is my life.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know my life.
yeah. For me as a person, I am whoever I need to be to continue to grow,
Exactly.
and I try to teach along the way.
Can you repeat the
In my
exercise?
case, I'm a student of this life and sharing whatever life I can share.
Perfect.
I want to go because I don't want to think about it a lot.
Do it.
I'm a multifaceted knot of passion, contradictions, wondering, and ambition for growth. Yeah.
I love it.
Authenticity, vulnerability, expansion, contraction, presence, alignment, tranquility, and fire.
Perfect.
I think I am a really brave person that follows my heart, and I'm trying to live my life really and feel alive.
That's it. That's the point for all of us, right? We skipped one right here.
I'm a fraction of God and a monkey with iPhone.
Fair enough.
I'm a shapeshifter, wanting to discover as many worlds through people as possible, reflecting back on conditional love and open for growth and with every step.
Perfect. I'm going to pause this for 1 second. This is Gage. He probably doesn't use a toothbrush. Yeah, and we are just doing, we are now doing, tell me who you are without using your name, your job title, or your relationship to anyone else. And it's going to keep going around, so you've got a little bit of time to think.
Absolutely.
Yep. And you're welcome to grab cushion, yoga mat, anything that might make you feel comfortable. Yep. I'm just trying to eat my breakfast. That's also a valid statement.
All good. I am a spiritual being on this, in a human shell on this earth, who is experiencing life and learning from the experiences, and then trying to help others to also live a more fulfilled life and to learn what life's all about, all the principles, all there is to know that helps you to be fully yourself and to express yourself.
Perfect.
I'm finding out who I am right now. So I can answer that better than just this and love.
That's enough.
That's enough.
That's
And-
all you need.
Can we please make the circle a bit bigger? Is it possible? So I can see everyone. Thank you so much.
And I'm gonna move to the shade after asking to do something.
We did not have good arranging skills. We quickly moved into the sun because we were freezing over there. And again, I want to encourage you all to take care of yourselves in the way that makes sense for you. So if you need to move into or out of the sun, if we need to move about, don't be afraid to take up space, okay? We've already got yours because you were chomping at the bit. I love that. You're the one.
Okay. I don't know. I guess I'm just doing my best and try not to be too hard on myself and others.
Yeah. That's all you can do, man, right?
Yeah, I'm here on this journey to experience and try to experience as much as I can and learn and to create things.
Perfect.
I think.
I seem to be some sort of carbon-based humanoid entity that is trying to find a way to express himself without getting in my own way so much.
Aren't we all, man?
But sometimes I'm better than that at that than other times.
Yeah.
And currently, I'm getting better at it, but not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, right? So as we go on today, it's just going to be assigning some words to some basic principles that you find really true in your heart. Everybody's going to find different truths. One thing that always happens is we're in a group, so we are going to say things more similar to the group. So I want to encourage you guys to not only do this once here today, but to learn this idea so that you can do it again, and you can do it again and again and again. And I reassess my values often because that's the way that I operate. I don't expect you to do it monthly, but anytime that you're faced with a difficult decision, instead of assessing the decision, assess what's important to you as a person. Assess what you value, what's authentic, what behavior you find true, and then assess that decision. And it will become a lot more clear. It's frequently not that there's a path that when we're aware of our values, there will be a path that's in alignment and there will be a path that's out of alignment. And one that's in alignment is almost always harder, but that decision becomes easier when we are aware of what aligns with us, our goals, and our values. The thing that I want to point out, I could make an entire separate workshop on I am statements, but as we went around this circle, it was always I am, I am, I am. Separate from values, as you move forward, as you leave this space today, start listening every time you say I am, because that's a claim of identity. And that is the most powerful statement that you can make. And it's easy to say things like, oh, I'm a traveler, oh, I'm spiritual, but when you're actually having conversations with people, what do you value? Because it's easy to say things like, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at planning, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at that. And just listen to that self-talk that you're putting out into the world. These I am statements have power, and you can choose to say things differently. In that, I am learning money management skills, I am learning new math skills, I am learning what is important to me as a person. Every time that you say an I am statement, you are claiming a value of yourself. So just be careful with your words. That stuff's important, right? Yeah. Yeah. What's your name and the color of your toothbrush?
My name's Weston, and it's black.
Right on, Weston.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining
that's
us.
what I'm
So as we go around, we're just trying to become more aware of what we value as people. And when you build that as a framework of the values for you as a person, you can apply that to every decision that you make in life. The name of this workshop is almost a misnomer because we are talking almost entirely about values and very little about decisions. But when you become aware of the values, the decisions become secondary. When you know what's important to you, that's it. It just becomes common sense of, for me, right now, the most important thing is my workshop, my business, my coaching. There are days that I am nervous to come here because I have to stand here and have a whole group of people looking at me. That's not always easy. Sometimes I feel a little shy. Sometimes I feel antisocial. But because I value the growth in that department, it doesn't matter how I feel. It matters that I am here doing what's important to me. For me to grow as a performer, there was an opportunity to buy more gear that I needed. I was a little bit afraid to do that because it's a ton of money. But when the opportunity is there, I'm looking to grow as a performer, it just becomes secondary. If I know this aligns with my values and what I want in life, right? So you brought up earlier on whether it comes from the head or the heart. And it's a little bit easy to talk about the logic side of things, but genuinely it's just trying to get the heart to align with the head better. That's it. We all want to be authentic. We all want to be ourselves. We all want to show up as we are. For each of us that looks different, but if we can get the two to align, it becomes more simple. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I agree with this. I feel to align the head with the heart more, and not for me the heart with the head more. But this is maybe personal.
Absolutely. And for me, I think that I don't see... For me, there isn't a difference in that I'm not trying to misalign my head or my heart, and whether we say the heart with the head or the head with the heart, I am trying to be in align with myself. I am trying to get everything congruent with myself. So you can say it either direction. I'm just trying to be authentic all the way through, right? If you lead with your heart, then say that first. Take that. Own that. That's your value, right? Yeah. All right. The next exercise is an embodiment exercise. And I want you, it's a little bit vague, and that's the point, because I want you to interpret this the way that you interpret it, not the way that I say it. Just like that, it's a perfect example. We all see and view things differently. And the way that you see and view things is going to say a lot about how we perform this exercise. But I want you to picture a moment in time that you felt authentically yourself, that you felt completely aligned with who you are, what you wanted to be doing, how you wanted to be operating. It can be a 30-second moment of a time where you felt absolutely on point, or it could be up to, say, a week where you just had everything aligned with how you want your life to be. Before we start, this is a two-part exercise. And you will hold the truth in your heart. You will always have that. And as we go around and share our stories, it's an opportunity for other people to say the values that they hear in your story. It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. It's just we as people, it's easier to analyze other people. So we get to hear your story. You get to know how you felt, what it meant. We say a few values, and these values will guide you towards values that are right or wrong for you. We on the same page?
Moment when you felt the most authentic and aligned?
Yes.
Okay.
Does anybody want to go first? Do you want me to go first so you can think? I love it.
This past summer, this festival called Electric Forest, the way I showed up for myself, like I said I was a shapeshifter. Every day I chose a color and energy that I was embodying. And the way that I showed up for myself and the crew that I was leading, like I felt like so aligned and badass, and just alignment and like in a festival setting, leading a crew, like if I'm really not in alignment, everything falls apart. But like it was this symphony of magic of how every step was guided, like as small as putting on my shoes to as big as having to choose the stage. Like I could see how I was fitting in the symphony of everything. Like by not overthinking it and just taking that step that felt in coherence to myself, I was exactly where I needed to be every step of the way. So when I look back at those couple of days, like it's what motivated me to go out in the road, because that's what life can be all the time.
Absolutely.
And it just felt amazing to actually understand it, like how we can be an individual amongst the oneness of all by relating it to like a symphony of orchestra of all these instruments and understanding how your part is just as important as all the other parts.
Yeah. So now, we as a group, if you guys hear values that you think are important to her from that story, just single 1-2 word values. But for me, I hear leadership,
Playfulness.
Freedom.
Flexibility.
creativity,
Purpose.
purpose.
You sound surprised.
Yeah. Who else has a story for us?
My most baddest dream was to gather enough money to be able to travel all I wanted, to explore my soul in different times, with different people, with different vortexes. Yeah, and to really come to a solid base of who am I or what is really important to me, getting out of my normal social environment. And yeah, with that, I was traveling with a friend. He wanted to go south, and mostly I'm like very flowy and yeah, okay, and we go. But this time I felt not resonating with my heart, so I said no to it, and I wanted to stay here to create, to grow more in this community, to have moments like these. This aligns for me perfectly to be here sitting and having these kind of conversations with like-minded souls. I also came out of a very karmic relationship, so I had to get very clean with myself, because if you don't bullshit yourself, you're not bullshitting anyone else. And yeah, I had already a few encounters where I felt like I could make the same mistake and go over again in that pattern, but I kept myself knowing that I'm the creator, and so I did something else. And put some boundaries and be just very honest and clear. And yeah, I was very proud of that, and I feel this is how I want to live my life. To not only say it, but then have also actions that are following up the words.
Absolutely. We have some values that we hear in that story.
Community.
I hear alignment from you almost every moment that we speak.
You're searching. You're searching.
Authenticity.
Honesty.
Creation. Creation.
Absolutely.
Exploration.
I keep seeing this guy everywhere I go. There's a connection, like I keep seeing, and there's people that happens with me. So I don't know what it is, but I keep seeing you.
You can figure it out, bro.
Who's next up with a story for us?
I got you. Like a year and a half ago at this point. I was trekking in Spain for like a month, and I was really like, I felt very like goal-oriented. I had like a lot of really big kind of desires and dreams, and I was learning a lot of things, but I felt like the most amount of like, I felt the most like myself. I felt super on top of everything. I felt like I was completely immersed in like manifestation, and also trying to visualize like how I wanted to achieve the things that I wanted to turn myself into, and it was all I could think about, and it was really incredible. And so that was like like October like 2023.
I hear transformation.
I hear ambition.
Magic.
Magic, ambition.
I fuck with that. Magic, ambition, and transformation.
Yeah.
I might get that embroidered on a pillar.
Presence.
I can't think of the word. I can't put my finger on it. That's the feeling. Like, I can't.
All right. I hear goal oriented.
I guess I can go.
Yeah.
It's always been a dream of mine to go to China. Like ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to like learn kung fu, and I just came from China like a week ago. I've been there for 2 months. I stayed in a temple, and thought about a lot about doing it or not doing it, and I'm happy I went through with it. This is when I felt authentic.
Absolutely. Passion.
Determination.
Determination.
Yeah. I was going to say the same.
Exploration.
Exploration.
Persistence.
Persistence. Good one.
That's true.
I think that seeing things through, and that's something that you had known since you were a child, and now you've finally gotten to embody that and live that life. That's important to all of us, right?
Chasing your dreams.
Do you have a new mission now or a new job? Like now you completed this one, is there a new one now?
I guess not.
We're ready to die.
That's the beauty of it, is once we accomplish something, you need to allow yourself time to be satisfied. Because it's, for me as a person, a good example of this is the peak of my running, I ran 9 miles. And as I was running 9 miles, I was planning a 12-mile run. It was just never enough. So just show up in that. You did the thing, and you don't have to immediately jump to the next thing. But as we're here moving our way through our lives, it's, if you don't presently have a goal, the beauty of that is, instead of getting stuck in that like existential vacuum, is my goal becomes to find a new worthwhile goal. And for me, I'm very value oriented, hence why we have this workshop, right? When I was feeling a little bit lost, I took time to step back and assess what works for me as a person. What do my values say? And then how can I align goals with my values so I know that the next step forwards will be authentic to myself, right? Yeah. Who else has a story for us?
Well, I think it's very clear for me. The alignment started 3 years ago, maybe just 3 years ago, when I decided to quit my job. So I have a life like multiple things. You have everything, material success, but I start to feel like that call, like leaving everything. And for many people, it was like, what are you doing? You have a beautiful job, like all the things. But for me, it was super strong for me. Leave everything, and every time with less, just enjoy nature. I don't know, I didn't have any plan, just go for it. And yeah, I feel like that was all this time have been like step by step, but super clear and feeling every day like stronger with all the things. That's why I say like feeling like I'm a student of this life and everything that I can learn, we can share as well. So,
What values do we hear in that story?
Discovery, journey.
Discovery, journey.
I don't know if it's necessarily a value, but intuition.
Absolutely.
Nature.
Courage.
Courage.
Simplicity.
Simplicity. I was going to say minimalism.
Yeah.
Wanting to learn or to explore other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Openness.
Openness.
I don't know what the word for. I guess I don't know what I'm trying to think of like a word that like encapsulate this. But the thing that you said about like you keep going with less and less shit is like like I don't know if there's a word for this, but the same way like a lot of monks, they take like a vow of poverty or whatever, like they leave their shit and like but you kind of slowly kept going towards that, like I don't need this, I don't want this, go away, like some into the wild shit.
Yeah. Who's got a story for us?
So, I've got a couple that I've been really trying to figure out in my mind which one I felt more aligned in, because they're so different, but I felt very aligned in both. So I'm gonna be short and bring both because I'm interested to hear your perspective maybe on the Hopper. So one is last year I was working super intensively for like 6 to 8 months trying to set up a business that ultimately failed, but I had the best time. Like I was super creative, on spot, active, energetic, and I had like a really good time with it, and I learned a lot. And then the second one is during this past summer I was living like on a camp on a beach with a bunch of my friends, just swimming every morning, cooking by the fire every evening, and really deliberating to connect with my intuitivity or intuitiveness, like really trying to make all my decisions, listen to like this small whisper of intuitiveness within my body, and to always base my small and large decisions according to that.
Yeah. Let's split this, and we'll get just a few values on the first story and a few values on the second, so that we can have the contrast. So the first story, to recap: working really hard for 6 months to set up a business.
Goal driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Creative learning.
Ambition.
Absolutely. And let's go to the second one.
Intuition.
Community.
Roots.
Presence. Enjoyment. Stillness.
Solidarity.
Yeah. I think that just for me as a person, the first time I did this exercise, they were a little bit more strict in that, like, oh, it should be one singular 30-second moment in time and blah, 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 blah. I had 4. I'm ADHD. I had 4 moments that came to me.
Yeah,
like,
I'm thinking like a lot.
So if we all sit here and share 4 stories, we're going to run out of time. I have an issue with keeping this thing on time. But if you have more than one moment that are coming up for you, that's okay. We're human. We can't be defined by a singular moment. That's normal. And if you are unable to pick between more than one, if you can simplify them down, by all means, feel free. Does anybody have another story for us? I'm going to start
I'll
calling.
go with my one. I'm just waiting to. Okay, so this one happened on the walking street. I was walking, and this woman came from behind, and she said something to me about where I'm from, and I've never met her before. And I turned around, and she held my hand, and she was rubbing my other hand, and then she was telling me things about me that no one knew from years ago, and what I like and stuff like that. And then we connected, and then she took her sunglasses off, and then we was just like looking into each other's eyes. This lasted like 2 or 3 minutes, and then she said, I gotta go, like I got a bus to catch, and then never seen her again. But I've met some other people like this as well. Like I was in a party, and this tall older man came over, and he just walked up to me, shook my hand, and he's going, "You've got a beautiful spirit," and then just like walked off, and I've never seen him again. And then I've had a lot. I could tell you a few more of these stories, but I keep meeting really, really amazing people, and like I'm having a calling that I need to go to India, but I don't think I'm ready to go to India, so I'm here trying to overcome my fears inside of myself by like going places and challenging myself, and yeah, just facing my fears.
Courage.
Destiny.
Connection.
Connection to your body.
Journey.
Soul presence.
Listening.
Self-care.
Being seen. Remembrance.
Depth.
Yeah. Who's next?
I have one. So I have. I could give you. I also could give you 100, but no, not 100. I haven't been such an authentic that in life, but I have ones that are more clear, and I feel like I could guess what answers you guys would give me. But on purpose, I'm gonna choose a moment that for me is still a little bit like ambiguous, and I'm not sure why it made me feel so happy and aligned. So that's the moment I'm gonna share. This happened maybe like 3 weeks ago or something. I volunteered for a handpan festival, and I was in charge of social media. And my role was basically to run around the whole. It was a dreamscape, so there were a lot of settings, and my role was to capture everything. And what I really liked was the fact that I could be everywhere at all the times, and I didn't have to actually commit to something. I could just see everything, and I was interacting with so many people, having so many meaningful conversations. I felt like I was giving them messages, they were giving me messages, and I was just enjoying so much people doing amazing things, being inspired by them. And yeah, this feeling of getting to see so much love and joy and connection, I guess.
Yeah. So before we start, I just want to remind you and encourage you one thing, in that as we're assessing these values, you get to know the truth. So whether we're right, wrong, or indifferent, that's that inner guidance that, for me, when I told my story, there were definitely things that people were saying that I didn't care about at all. And that doesn't matter. You get to know the truth of that, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say that the thing that stands out is the ability to see everything. So almost an omnipresence, and being able to capture the entire moment.
For me, it's freedom.
Spontaneity.
Extrovert.
Curiosity.
Connection.
Connection to others.
Like it's so real. It was like so real. Like it was, yeah, I know what you mean. It was like a, can't explain it, but yeah, it was so real, wasn't it?
So real? Yeah, I think I can get what you're saying. It's I subtracted myself from the normal.
Yeah.
Flow.
This is hand in hand with freedom, but just not being tied down.
Putting yourself in a position in order to free yourself from your usual patterns.
When I say so real, like if you was like watching Disney and then you're actually part of Disney, you'd be like, wow, like that's so real, like you was actually in the moment, like as well.
Wow, it's beautiful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Who's next?
I can go. So last year I was in college. I was supposed to do like the normal life of everyone's gonna do, like college, working. And in Brazil, like if you don't go to college, like this doesn't exist. You have to go. You have to follow this path. And between this, I did my first solo travel, and my heart like really say like I have to follow this. So I went back to my college and I stopped my college. I have like no money in my bank account. I really didn't know what I'm gonna do, like, but I just knew that I was keep traveling, and everything like just like that phrase like you do the path and the universe will put the so I really felt like this, like I have no idea what I'm gonna do, like I just was following my heart like 100%, and everything was working out, like it seems like I was like literally like flowing. So yeah, and no one understand me, and even though I continue to do this, and I just have like this calling, and now I'm here. So that's like the you know, like the thing that when you follow your heart, really like the things work out. So yeah, I think that was the moment. Like I was literally like, no one like in my side, no one like believed me, and I was like, I know what I'm doing, and everything worked out so like perfectly. So I think that was the moment that I really like felt myself. A lot of moments, but this was like, oh my god, it seems like a magical, you know.
This is the best story.
And you know why it's the best story? Because every one of us can relate to this at some part in their life.
Exactly.
Knowing that you're supported and carried by the universe, and if you truly surrender to it and truly drop into the void, then it's when magic is coming true. But you need to really be able to fall
surrender.
back. So I hear trust.
But just the same as you're saying, this is the first experience for you of finding spirituality. You know, like you believed in it. You didn't. No one else didn't believe what you, and you followed it, and you.
I didn't have anyone else, but I have God. Like I really believe. Like
That's everyone else.
Yeah.
So.
Trust in the process.
Faith.
Courage.
Purpose.
Badass.
Yeah, that's an epic shit right there.
Huh?
That's epic shit right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Out here doing it. Out here doing it.
What do you mean?
America.
Yeah, it's a very American word. American slang that means that you have stepped out to go and do the thing. So just out here doing it means that you have come out, you are doing it. There's no bars, there's no holdbacks. You are doing the thing. Yeah.
And we should all have something like this, our first experience, so it's relatable as well.
Absolutely. We've all taken that leap. It's looked very different for some of us. Some of us had more planning, some of us had less planning, some of us had money in the bank, some of us didn't. But we're all here. We've all shown up. We're all doing it together.
But also, like, someone could have told you you're mad, you're listening to things in your head, you're going crazy, and it's not true. You just need to know how to hear the message, like take the message from the sign, basically.
Yeah. All right. Who still needs to tell us their stories? Yeah.
Well, I feel a little bit similar. Like I just went on this solo trip, and actually the last week here in Pai has felt very aligned with what I've been looking for, actually, because I went away to like try to figure out myself a bit more, have a break from my normal life, and when I got here to Pai, I really feel like being in these types of classes. I did some breath work and a lot of different workshops and stuff like this, and I feel like I should be here. Like I feel like I learn so many things every day just being here. So in that way, I feel aligned. But I don't know where I'm going. But I want to learn more. That's kind of how I'm feeling.
I think you said learning 4 times.
That's
and that's the beauty of it, right? Like that's something that you really value.
Yeah.
I want to find my values, kind of. But I don't really.
No, I can see you really trying. Like I don't know you, but I can see you making the effort somehow.
Yeah.
I say exploring.
Yeah, exploring.
I feel questioning, you know, who you were, who you are, who you want to be, where you're going.
Yeah. I think that's all of us too, is we're all going to continue to learn and to grow and to change. And it's, again, this assessing values isn't something that you're going to do once. It's something that you get to do lifelong. And every time that you do it, your answers will change. But that's the point. You're allowed to change. And the words will get more and more refined as you go forward. But that's the point, right? It's you get to be wrong about what your values are now so that later you get to be right. Nothing's perfect on the first try. We all want things to be perfect on the first try, but they never are. We find the right things by exploring the wrong things, right? Yeah. Who else has a story for us?
I go next. I finished eating. Okay, so I have 2 moments. The first is when I got to travel after my school, after my A-levels, to Australia, did work and travel there, and just felt so free driving around with the car and just like having no responsibilities. So I didn't know where I belonged in life, and I don't know now too, and that was 8 years ago. But it just felt so free and so like no one expected anything from me, and I could just be and experience, and yeah, and that's the first moment. And the second one is on my second big travels, which is now like a month, 2 months ago, when I was at a volunteering project, and I could really give, like contribute to a community where like it was seen and valued, and I could really give what I have to all of us, and really express myself and be joyful, be just myself. And yeah, I think that's 2 moments when I was on travels. Before, I don't know where I felt aligned like that when I was at home.
A lot of playfulness.
Curiosity.
Joy. Freedom.
Content.
Community.
Positive impact.
I was going to say giving back. I think that a reoccurring theme that I keep hearing is that most of us feel aligned with ourselves while we are searching. And it's when we stop that search because we have an idea, we go explore that idea, we go explore that notion, and we end up searching again. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the cycle. But you're going to find yourself wherever you look. You just have to remember to look.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
I feel the nature of life to be just temporary moments and flashes. Like, you know, you have this goal and you do this goal, but then what after this goal there comes another, and so the journey is continuous. So this curiosity to keep on going indeed is really is a lesson, actually.
Absolutely. It's at any point in time we can all move out of the driver's seat and into the passenger seat on life and just go into autopilot and allow life to happen, or we can always do the reverse of that and come into the driver's seat, take control of our own lives, search within. The reason that so many people go traveling to find themselves is that new ideas are just old ideas plus new information. And do you want to be surrounded in new information by immersion, by going out? Do you want to do it by reading books, or do you want to stay in your daily life in stasis, right? We are not out of time yet, but I need to be managing time. So who has yet to share with us? I think you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about my story, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
I feel honesty.
I think for me, I haven't experienced this kind of alignment with myself 100% yet. So I could only name some moments that, in addition, would be near to that feeling, I guess. So I would like to share when I was surfing. I started surfing kind of recently, and it feels really great to just be in the ocean and not be left alone in that big sea, but have that board and just flow. And the other thing where I feel so myself and aligned was some weeks ago when we met a stray dog. At least we thought it was a stray dog. And I really connected to that animal. We were just playing, and I was so, I was out of my comfort zone because he was biting me, but joyfully biting me, and we were just cuddling, and I was so with myself, and also out of my comfort zone, which I enjoyed. Yeah, and just to add that, like the past few weeks when the three of us traveled together were really magical, because everything we were like doing a lot of inner work and also traveling, and it just flowed, and we got from one thing to the other, and it was like the universe holding our back and also pushing us to another lesson, and yeah, it's a nice kind of way to travel.
Can
What
I-
do we hear?
Can I just say something first? Because you say like 100%. Even though this times I doesn't feel 100%. Like I feel more of myself, of course, but I think 100%. Like we're so complex. It's so yeah. It's not like 100%. You know, it's you always have like other things going on. I think so.
The reoccurring theme is that you like to be pushed. You like to be at the edge of your comfort zone, stepping out.
I feel exploration.
Curiosity.
Connection to nature.
Peace.
Forced growth.
Yeah, I need to say challenge. Challenge.
I think you're still looking for something.
Do we have anybody else that hasn't gone?
I haven't gone. I have kind of two as well. Both kind of have elements of fishing, oddly enough. So last January, did my first solo trip, and for so long I've been like kind of trying to get like all my whole financial life, career life, kind of all sorted and everything. So being able to go out and experience, and I was in Koh Phi Phi on a longtail boat with a bunch of really close friends, and just kind of exploring and seeing new things and everything, and kind of being able to have all sorts of experiences, smoking the bong on the boat with the Thais and fishing with them and everything. And then the other one was what I initially thought was when I was quite young. The whole family were camped out by a lake and go out kokanee fishing, come back, all the families doing like a big fry up, and everyone's playing games and having fun, and kind of that sense of community type thing. Those are kind of two moments that initially came up in my mind.
Yeah.
Does here give you memories of the things you were saying?
Pie, like
yeah.
Somewhat, yeah. I just came in yesterday, so I don't know most of you, but yeah.
Maybe you'll have that feeling here, I think.
Yeah.
Hell of an introduction to pie, huh?
No kidding.
Let's get back to values. I'd say, obviously, we're all here to explore, right? And that's why that keeps coming up. But that exploration, I think going for it. Brave.
Connection.
Connection.
Playfulness.
Playfulness.
Tribe, family.
Fishing.
Which is both oddly enough have that in there.
I feel like nature is like a thing that keeps coming up.
Absolutely.
I feel like that for me, for sure.
Yeah. So, and that comes from two things. Is we're a group of people that are all in pie. So everyone here came probably because they like nature, they like to travel, they like to explore, right? Like we're all going to have these things together because of the environment that we're in. Also, being in a group setting, we're humans. We want sense of community. Our brains will automatically write what we're hearing as we're speaking. And that's why it's important to do this over and over again, right? Because every time you do it in a different group by yourself, you have the opportunity to come to words that are more authentic. But at the end of the day, values are only words. And just like when we hear somebody's story and we have struggles putting words to what we're hearing, we know what we want to express. So even if you can't sit there and write words that you want to express, as you start to learn your values, you'll know that I value this in this moment. I value this sense of connection. I value this sense of leadership. I value this sense of community. I value this sense of love, this sense of trust, this sense of appreciation. And it's as we get into the habit of assessing what we value from each moment, then as we use those to go forward, we can use that as a formula to create, hey, these are things that I have loved having in the past. This puts me in an environment where I can have more of them in the future, right? We've got about 15 minutes left, which should be enough time as long as we don't overrun, and I really like to talk. But if we all have 5 words for values that are important to us today, if they're in your own language, that's fine. You need to understand them. I don't. But 5 words that are values that are authentic to you today that you would like to live your life by. And if you're a person that just thought of 10, that's great. Let's go with 10. If you're a person that can only think with 2, that's okay too. Like, this is the fact that we are identifying and owning some values is more important than the number. But let's try and, in a reasonable amount of time, get around the circle with a few words that are important to us for values. What do we got?
Acceptance, truth, authenticity, vulnerability, expansion, self-acceptance, love, passion, creation, community, growth.
And these are all central ideas based off of what you feel in your heart, right? We're just assigning words to the feeling. And for some people, the feeling is more valuable. For some people, the words are more valuable. For me, I'm a very word-oriented person. But for you, get in touch with this feeling, and then get in touch with those words. Who's next? We can just start going around the circle to the right.
Okay, for me, honesty, simplicity, love, purity, transformation.
Perfect.
What are yours?
Mine, being surrounded by beauty, honesty, authentic connection, trust, and integrity.
Can you say them again?
Say that again?
You, you say them again, yeah.
Oh, honesty, being surrounded by beauty, authentic connection, integrity. And I probably threw out a 5th one. What's my 5th one now? My 6 kind of changed, but another one that's important to me is doing no harm.
Doing no
Integrity, you said also.
Integrity.
That was a very nice one.
Yeah, doing no harm in that I as a person am peaceful. Do we know the difference between peaceful and harmless? A rabbit is harmless. The warrior who keeps their sword sheathed is peaceful. I have chosen to be peaceful because of my past. I was not always a good person. I have done harm in this world, and I have done a lot to change that. I choose now to be peaceful and to try and do my best to help others change their lives because of the things I have done to change my own.
I'll say freedom, like slow, like peace, maybe, courage, community. I want to copy you, surrounded by beauty. I like this. Love. Joy.
Mine are interconnectedness, joy, freedom, authentic love, honesty, transparency, integrity, and purpose. And respect.
I also love your Stitch socks, just so you know. Sweet values, but those Stitch socks.
joy, curiosity, freedom, contribution, love. The need to be, or to be seen and to be needed somehow.
Yeah.
Is that like wanted?
The wanting.
You want to be wanted? Is that the same?
It's basically contribution that I can bring something into the community and help others.
Love, creativity, connection, exploration, trust.
Peace, love, real life, the truth, and honesty.
Still working on it, come back to me.
Okay.
It's so funny to think how my values have been changing in the last 6 months. Freedom, understanding through connection, playfulness and joy, love, creativity, purpose, community, and authenticity.
Honesty, positive impact, community, love, and one that I struggle with myself, self-love. Yeah.
I go with authenticity, connection, and hard work.
I'd say exploration, freedom, spirituality, compassion, and creativity.
Jackie inspired me, and I didn't hear it yet, but I feel gratitude is also one that, I would imply to for everything I got to receive and for everything I got to give. I feel grateful.
Freedom, authenticity, expression, integrity, and resilience. Slash perseverance. I didn't know which person.
You get to choose both, right? So it's, as we move forward, how can we align with these values more? And how can we refine these values to words that are even more important to us, right? The activity that we don't have time for, but I still want to share with you guys while your values are fresh in your mind, I am still coming back to you, and I need you to know that I see you. The activity that I want to share with you guys is now you've become more aware of your values. You have met yourself. You have looked back at moments that were important to you that felt in alignment. What's the biggest problem in your life right now? What's the nagging issue? Maybe it's travel plans. Maybe it's what do I want